Shut up.
You were great tonight. Really. There she is, the wonderful lady. Right? Personality plus all the time. Every time I come in here. Nothing but smiles for me. Whatever. I'm ready to eat. Here it is.
I couldn't touch it. Why do you have to a major production every time we go out and embarrass me? You know what? Oh, God. Jesus Christ, that's what all I have.
Our little boy is all grown up tonight. And you know what, big boy? You're grown up. You're grown up. Yeah, dig.
Oh, a real country breakfast, the best you ever tried. Pick up some Flatter Farms breakfast Bud Bites.
Flat Earth Farms Breakfast Bud Bites. Made with the best cuts of bud. Just like at home. Packed full of fresh country flavor. From the skillet to your plate. Tasty breakfast Bud Bites.
Tasty breakfast Bud Bites from Flat Earth Farms. Try some today.
Available at all purveyors of fine products near you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Hieu TV. Today we got surprise guest, Boston Ray. Ray's joining us.
How you doing? How you doing? Thank you. Thanks for the introduction. Wonderful. It feels good to be back here on Hieu TV. One of my favorite shows. My favorite show. My personal favorite. You know
how you've made it. You know how you made it when there's 4 other people watching, and one of them is Brian Staley.
Yeah.
It don't matter if it's 4 or 4,000 or 4 million. Brian tunes in, then
yeah,
you know.
If Brian watches the show, it's going to be interesting.
Don't you think?
Yeah. Especially when there's only 4 people. But I see more people coming.
But you know what? We just like to have fun. We like to connect.
Yeah.
Ray, what did we do just a few months ago?
We went to Flat Earth Farms, baby. Boom. Hieu rolled up at like 6 a.m. Drove for like I only slept for like 2 hours. I was like, yeah, in the picture. But it was fun. We had a great time. I wish we even stayed for longer.
I want to give props to Singe Man, who made the Flat Earth Farms commercial. What did you guys think? It just premiered right now. You guys were a witness to it.
Yeah, that was a world premiere. Worldwide, baby. Boom.
Good job, Singe Man. See, Sue Finelli knows what's up.
Yeah, Sue knows.
So
she knows Singe Man when she sees him.
Yeah, Singer's in the house.
Yeah.
We got Brian. Brian's in the house. Thank you for the support, Brian. Hey, Brian, you've been doing a lot of videos. Have you been watching Brian's videos? He's been doing a lot of videos.
Yeah, he's been working his chops off.
Yeah, you do a really good job, buddy. Keep it up.
Yeah, my main channel's on a strike. My backup channels they're just not letting me upload certain videos. It's weird. It's like freezes in 99% now.
The best time to watch my videos is live because you don't know when they're gonna get removed off my channel, and you can't.
Yeah. I mean, you played Space is Fake as Fuck. They always block my stream right when I played that song.
Like we'll do this video, right? And you'll either watch it live and you'll catch it, or and it'll post on my channel for maybe like a day or 2, and then they'll just remove it. So like if you go back on, you won't be able to find it, which is unfortunate because we've had some really good videos.
I know.
I've had some really good videos on Hieu TV. But
they always get taken down on my channel too, Hieu, whenever I upload your stream, except for the Amber one stayed up. There's a few that stayed up, but they're wrong on my BitChute, dude. I have a lot of your shows with me on it on my BitChute channel and on my Odyssey too, I think. Mostly on the BitChute.
And YouTube, I mean, YouTube's a good place. However, it's not perfect,
No.
and it's a good place to get information, and it's really an instrument. It's what you make of it. So it can be a totally negative thing, or it can totally be a really good thing. Really
What have
positive.
I gotten out of YouTube, you might ask? I've got a lot of really good friends that, like, really solid people that have helped me out, connections, and really people that really seem to care. Good people in my life now. I used to be surrounded by scumbags, and now I'm surrounded by, like, really honest, great people.
Internet scumbags.
No, in real life, scumbags. But yeah, once YouTube becomes real life, that's when things get interesting.
How's it gone to real life to you?
It's like when I first started watching YouTube, I didn't even know if anybody was real. You know what I mean? And then, like, I met everybody. I went around the whole United States this year. Man, I was in New York. I was in, Long Island. Then I was first I was here in Florida. Then I was in South Carolina, North Carolina.
This is all from YouTube?
All from YouTube. I drove down the South Coast with Christian.
From YouTube.
All from YouTube, dude.
Why would you?
Then I was in Cali, and I met you, all in the same year. And then I came back to Florida, and I moved my whole family.
Dude, Sufinelli says I met Ray.
I was in San Francisco, dude. I was everywhere this year, and I don't.
Ray, you were everywhere. How'd you do it?
I didn't plan it, dude. It was like the synchronicity, just the whatever, the simulation, whatever you want to call it. Just
you were on this like this energy wave, a positive energy wave that you were just riding.
I look back and I'm like, how did I even have the energy to do that?
Or maybe you're still riding it.
Maybe I'm still riding it. I think I am, because I'm gonna have to go back to Boston soon, eventually. For a
Dude, you're traveling all over the place, more than me.
Oh man, yeah.
What's going on here?
Jesus. But I'll be happy once I get settled and I can just stay, and I don't have to run around anymore. I want to but I plan on going to a lot of meetups and stuff like that around here when I hear about them.
So your family is no longer in Boston?
My kids and my wife are with me.
So they're all in Florida with you?
Yeah, my kids love it, dude. My kids love it here. But Michelle's just kind of adjusting still.
Are they going to new school?
Yeah, my son went to school today for the first day. Like, we moved him to the school down here.
Wow.
Yeah. He went on the school bus. They picked him up. He's like, he loves it. He was like, they got 2 playgrounds. I'm like, 2 playgrounds? He's like,
see, you got to watch Hieu TV live, because this is what we talk about.
This is stuff I probably wouldn't even talk about on my channel, because my channel's hot. It's like,
this is like the awesome material that we get to talk about on Hieu TV.
Yeah. Exclusive stuff for Hieu TV.
I think that's great that YouTube has.
It's made a positive change in my life,
So you think without YouTube, you wouldn't move there?
Definitely not, because Tommy Tell the Truth helped me, and everybody helped me, but for the most part, Daryl, Tommy, a bunch of people. But for the most part, like, if I didn't meet Tommy on YouTube, I wouldn't be here, thanks to Tommy and God.
Tommy Tell the Truth. If y'all don't know who we're talking about, legendary.
He's a really good guy, man. Really good guy.
You're gonna have to show us the video of you guys riding that was it like a motorcycle or
oh yeah. It's Tommy. So for people that don't know, this part of Florida, they love go-karts, they love dirt bikes, they love all that stuff. They try to build their go-karts up and make them faster and better and put new motors on them, and they drive around like crazy here. Like, the driving is completely nuts. But Tommy has a few vehicles because he always seems to get vehicles.
Hello, Ray. I think
right
you cut out. Are you there? You want to show?
No, it's not coming up. It's not showing for me.
No.
Oh, I had it. Yeah, if you go to my channel, it might show you. It's all, here it goes. All right, it's showing now. Let's see. You got it? Nice. Oh, there it goes again.
Good stuff right there.
It's messed up.
That's how you Florida.
That sucks. Dang it.
Yeah.
It was good footage. Maybe I can pull it up.
Yeah, it's on my channel and my shorts, dude. But
yeah.
I know. That was me. That's me, Ben Flat, Tommy. We all are hanging out. And Tommy's got a little dirt bike.
Where's it under? Is it under like live? Is it under
shorts? Under shorts. Tommy.
This is the material that
Tommy rides, Tommy rides D's. It's called Tommy rides D's nuts.
Tommy rides. All right, let me share. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. See, I don't do this very often, and who knows? This channel might be taken down. Like
Why?
Next video. No, I'm serious. Like next video, dude. Because they always take down my videos. So I probably have like two strikes already. I don't even check. That's how much heart I have. Like, because I know like there's always gonna be an ending on a YouTube channel.
they took away your other one, but it's like, you know,
when you put your heart and soul into it.
You had a big channel.
Way.
I know. That really put you in a hole for a while. You were like,
I
don't want to come back, you know, but I do. You were like indecisive about it. I was like, just come back and bring your show back. You still haven't brought it back completely. Like,
well, I mean, this is kind of it, right? No.
Yeah, but you used to go every night almost, like at least three nights a week, I would say. Right?
I know. There was a time when like I was like doing it for a while.
We used to look forward to it, Hieu. There was a bunch of us. You had your own little group, and everybody used to come. And that's where I met a lot of the people that I still have on my show today, like Rasta Bear. Well, I seen him before, but that's where I met him, you know, on your show. A lot of these people. Singe Man. I think I met Singe Man on one of your shows too. And you know, look at my show now. You know, it's like we kind of built off of your show, Hieu. You taught me a lot on how to do things at night. You know, how to operate.
Ray, I remember when you first started. It was pretty rough, buddy.
I know. I played the first one the other day on my backup channel, Late Night Live #1, and then I put number 2 and number 3.
You come a long way in your producing. Your producing skills are quite
Dude,
pretty.
I didn't even know how to like do anything. I didn't even know how to like get a link. I was watching the show and I was asking Michelle to like get me on the camera. I didn't even know how to get myself on the camera, dude. I had no idea how to do nothing when I first started, and I learned a lot, which is good. You know.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah. It's the third one in.
All right, so why don't you commentate? Tell us what we're seeing here.
Okay, so this is Tommy's little dirt bike, and it's pretty fast, dude. I never really rode a motorcycle like on a street before, and I rode that one, and I was like, dude, I have no helmet on. Look, he flies. He flies, dude.
No, he's flying.
He's a stunt. He's like a stunt driver, dude.
How does he not know like if a car's gonna like pull out? Like, you know.
That's what I'm saying. And there is cars and go-karts and all kinds of shit that could come flying around the corner at any second. You know? And I didn't have a helmet. There's Ben Flat. That's Ben Flat.
Tommy doesn't mess around with that. Tommy's like a bat out of hell.
Dude, you should see how he drives his cars and everything else. He has a go-kart too. That's really, really fast, man. Hey, but it's actually not that. He said it's not that fast, but I think it's fast.
Dude, Tommy needs to slow down. All it takes is one. I sound like his mother.
Nah, he can drive really well, dude. He comes up to like corners where he almost hits them on purpose and then swings off. Yeah, he's good.
That was Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy, tell the truth.
So tonight we're talking about synchronicities. Personal ones. I decided to invite Boston Ray on the show just because I think he's a very interesting character. Hey, are you gonna lose your Boston accent now that you're living in?
That's what I keep asking everybody. When am I gonna start talking like I'm Southern? I might just force it and try to talk Southern anyway, just for fun. So you want to look up
what a synchronicity is? All right, let's do that. This is what the dictionary says. Can you show it?
All right.
The simultaneous occurrence of events which appear significantly related but have no discernible causal connection. Another term for synchronicity. So basically, the 17th century based on Latin.
What is the simple meaning of synchronicity?
Yeah. Oh my god, they don't really give you much.
What did you look up? No, you got to look up synchronicity, not simultaneous.
Yeah. Whoa. I did look up synchronicity. See right there. They're giving me simultaneous. Here's Wikipedia, the most reliable source for information. This article is about the Jungen concept. The synchronicity is a concept first introduced by analytical psychologist Carl G. Jung to describe circumstances that appear meaningfully related yet lack a causal connection. In contemporary research,
causal.
Yeah, you lack a causal connection. Oh,
Dude,
okay.
This guy Carl Jung, he was badass. He knew a lot about the mind.
In contemporary research, synchronicity experiences refer to one subjective, casual, unrelated to each other, yet have some other unknown connection. Jung held that this was a healthy, even necessary function to the human mind that can become harmful within psychosis. Ooh, watch out, guys. Jung developed the theory of synchronicity as a hypothetical, non-causal principle serving as the insubjective and philosophically objective connection between these seemingly meaningful coincidences. Mainstream science generally regards that any such hypothetical principle either does not exist or falls outside the bounds of science. So it's basically saying mainstream science won't even acknowledge this. After first coining the term in the late 1920s or early 30s, Jung further developed the concept in collaboration with physical and Nobel laureate Wolfgang Pauli. Through long correspondence in their eventual 1952 work, The Interpretation of Nature in Psych, which comprises, so they wrote a paper about it.
Dude.
Yeah.
So basically, it's having a relation without a relation, right?
Rasta Bear's in the chat. Yeah, me and Rasta have been talking about it a lot lately on a lot of people's shows, triggering people. It's been nuts.
It's like a coincidence, but not really a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's like deja vu, but not really deja vu.
It is like deja vu. I was thinking the same thing. Deja vu is kind of like a synchronicity. I mean, there's probably different types of synchronicities, Hieu. Like I was thinking of this. So
yes, a Mandela effect is a type of synchronicity.
That's what I'm saying. It's like tons of different kinds. The ones that are most common to me are like when I'm like, all right, like the other day I had my little baby, my son on the couch, and I was like playing with his legs, pretending he was riding a bike. And I'm like, I'm just riding a bike to nowhere, you know, like singing this song like about riding a bike to nowhere because he's just sitting there. He's like, he like loves it. So like as soon as I said I'm riding my bike to nowhere, there was like a kid's cartoon on the screen, right? On the TV, right? And it like showed a kid literally riding his bike, and it like zoomed in right on his feet as he was pedaling. Now, most people wouldn't even notice that, you know, a lot of people wouldn't. But when you tune into it and you start looking for it, you start noticing that like you'll say something and you'll be driving and then a sign pops up that says like the same thing you just said. I think the cell phones are listening to us though, because like a lot of stuff just we talk about just shows up.
It is like one kind of one argument for making this reality a digital reality, you know, with these synchronicities, these maybe glitches per se. That can be a synchronicity as well. But it is an argument, right? Like, yeah, we might be in a digital reality. This could be
Or yeah,
coding that just kind of glitches here and
Yeah.
there. Or, but it
or
could
it could
be also the other thing too, where there's a creator and there's someone who's trying to give you messages. So it can go either way.
I feel like it could be a message from the creator or whatever force created this place. You know what I mean? Like, because like a lot of people think of God like he was just a mere man, but he obviously wasn't a man if he could create this whole place with his voice. So, I think it's more of like a force, like the natural force, whatever nature. Call me pagan. I don't care. I kind of was starting to believe that it's the natural order of this place. It just naturally happens. And it's God.
Maybe it's us speaking to us in like a different dimension and trying to get our attention, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a message. I think that sometimes it means that you're right in the right spot. Like it's God trying to tell you, like you're lining up. Maybe, you know, like deja vu. I think it's like different timelines lining up. Like you feel like you did it before because in another reality you did it like 3 seconds before.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I believe that.
You know, and you might still be in the same spot in that other reality and you kind of just stepped over and now you're like lined up and you get that feeling of deja vu. And you maybe it's a whole bunch of realities lining up. Maybe there's like 10 of you in different realities all lined up in the same spot. And then you feel
maybe you lived all different scenarios and then you just learned which scenario was the best way to go.
Yeah, I like that.
Or the better,
you're right.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's all a choice and we all have our choices. We all wind up where we are, you know, not by coincidence.
Well, like reincarnation, like we kind of like what you're just saying. Like
yeah, and I think synchronicities maybe can be planned. Like maybe we planned it. Like we put, like let's say, like our future self implanted these things in our life, in our reality that we would pick up on and kind of like navigate through. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I know this person from here, and that's how I got there, and that's how I'm here now. And it was all like, it was all meant to be, you know? Like, how many people can say that? So many people.
Or maybe you lived it before, Hieu. Like, you know, like life is just recycled until you wake up. And then like you start over when you die and you have like these key points in your life where, you know, it's telling you you're lining up or something.
Kind of like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it felt like Groundhog Day yesterday or the day before for me. I don't know why. I forget. I was running around doing the same thing I did the day before.
That is one of the best movies ever created.
I know. Groundhog Day.
Like, dude, the fact that they're able to create a movie that like
the same song
express such an idea. I mean, it's just
every morning when he presses the clock, the same song's on.
Yeah.
He realizes it though. He realizes
there's a lot of truth in that, you know, like every day we wake up, you know, into the same skin of ours. It's just what choices do we make differently that will change the course of our reality.
Me and Singeman always talk about it's kind of like the Truman Show. You know, it's like, what if this place was built for you and you're the show and everything's just working for you? Yeah,
I believe it. And maybe you have an audience that you aren't aware of, but the audience is watching. And they either root for you when you do really well, or they maybe leave the showing for a while when you're doing something stupid. Different people have different audiences or different amount of audiences, kind of like, you know, number of followers on a channel, whatever. I think there is some sort of entity that is watching. And that's the only way I can explain these personal synchronicities. Something has to be watching us. We have to be we have to be being observed right now. Don't you think? Like,
well, yeah. If we were created, wouldn't God want to observe His creation? Like see how it's going. At least check in every once in a while. I mean, when you have a fish tank, you got to feed the fish at least once a day, right?
Not only that. Got to maintain the fish tank. You got to clean it. You gotta scoop it down.
Yeah, but you know that That's the problem with scientists and scientism. You know, they feel like they need to do these studies to save the planet. You know, like the Mother Earth won't survive without them. But I feel like, you know, Earth was here before we were here. Earth is going to be here after we're gone. And it has a natural way of fixing itself somehow with the earthquakes and everything else, mud floods.
I think the older I get, the more I have to realize that I need to be the one responsible carving out my happiness and my joy. No matter how much truth I uncover, I still have to seek that and carve the happiness for my life and my family out. That takes priority. Yeah, and everything else is what, sprinkles or toppings or cherry. Everything else is just cherry on the cake. But finding that happiness is, I think, the most important thing that I've come to realize even as a truther. So whatever that looks.
Cherries on the cake sounds good, Hieu. I never did
it. Did any of you guys get to eat pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving this year? I hope you guys.
I haven't eaten any pumpkin pie this year.
Dude, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you eat any pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving?
I don't know. I wasn't in the Thanksgiving mood. You know, I was just kind of. I don't celebrate holidays, Hieu. I don't celebrate holidays.
Maybe you should start. Just get a little tree, just a little one, like this one, and put it there for a Christmas tree.
I probably will for the kids at least.
Right? Yeah. All it takes is just set up one present underneath a tree, and then like that. All it takes just one, and then throughout the days of the month, it'll just get more full.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna start a garden soon. The sun here is bright. The sun here is bright.
I'm going to show the commercial again. Let's take a break, y'all. We're here with Boston Ray talking about personal synchronicities.
Oh, a real country breakfast, the best you ever tried. Pick up some Flatter Farms breakfast bud bites.
Flat Earth Farms breakfast bud bites. Made with the best cuts of bud. Just like at home. Packed full of fresh country flavor. From the skillet to your plate. Tasty breakfast bud bites.
Tasty breakfast bud bites from Flat Earth Farms. Try some today.
Available at all purveyors of fine products near you.
Thank you, Singe Man, for that. Quite the work we got there, Singe Man.
I know Singe Man is good, man. He's good. He does it all the time, dude. He's surprised.
Brought to you by Flat Earth Farms. That was for you, Daryl. I hope you liked that commercial. I was like one day, like, damn, I need to show a Flat Earth Farms promo video on my channel. Yeah, and I was like, who can make it for me? And I had the idea. I think I texted you, right?
Yeah, you texted me. You said, hey, you think Singe Man will make a Flat Earth Farms commercial? And I was like, I know you will. You just got to give him like a couple weeks, like a week or two, week and a half.
Yeah. Get it done. So thanks to Singe Man, we are now promoting Flat Earth Farms.
You know, I've watched Singe Man really evolve on his art. Like, you know, he was always an artist, but now he's doing some amazing things, man. He learned this. It's a lot of programs that I don't even want to learn, dude. And he's drawing comic books. They're coming out really good, and he's doing a lot with art. But a lot of people look at him as a kung fu guy because his channel is all about kung fu. But he's also an artist, and he's a good guitar player too.
He went to Flattoberfest, right, in Vegas.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It looked like it was a blast. I wanted to go, but I was in the process of moving. You know,
It looked like he was having fun. But yeah,
I almost went.
Cinchman built me. I don't know if you guys know. Cinchman built me a hammer out of his own hands. He forged it together,
I can't believe that.
made out of like hard wood.
It was huge. It was like Thor's hammer.
It was like Thor's hammer, and he gifted it to me. He was like, "Hieu, here's your hammer." And he started to cry. He started just getting
Got emotion.
And I looked at Boston Ray. I'm like, Ray, is this happening? Like, why is Cinchman crying right now? He was totally crying, like full on. Like,
I think it's because he's been such a big Hieu TV fan for a long time, and he was like actually was with you in real life, and you were leaving, so he was kind of sad about that. And then the fact that you actually liked his art, his piece that he made, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give this to my dad or something," right? And he was like, "Wow, I'm actually presenting Hieu TV with something that I made, and Hieu likes it." You know, you're kind of a big deal to us. You know,
you know how many fans I have? I have 2 fans, Ray and Cinchman.
I think you have more fans than you know, Hieu. People are there's a famine in the land for the word of Hieu.
It's a tight knit community. Once you're in the Hieu bubble, we all know each other, right?
To each his own. To each his own.
But we have to make that trip again. To
yeah, oh yeah. Daryl said August. He's gonna be he's gonna have a bunch of people come. Maybe.
He said that?
Yeah, he said yeah.
People? How many is a bunch?
Is whoever wants to go. Like, you got to talk to him first.
Like how many? Like 50? 100?
No, not a lot of people. I mean, not that many people would. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking. But I heard him say August. I'm probably gonna go. Definitely.
Dude, that was a badass trip. That was a badass trip we went.
Yeah, it was.
Hiking on that cliff.
Yeah, that video of you jumping off the cliff got like thousands of views. It got like 3,000 views on my channel. But you could show it. It's in the shorts. It's called Hieu TV Jumps Off Cliff.
Ray's describing it as like I'm jumping off like a 90-foot cliff. It's only like a 5-foot cliff.
Dude, when we went rock climbing, that was scary, dude.
Dude, we went to that cliff, that hole, that blowhole.
The blowhole. Next to the nude beach, the blowhole next to the nude beach that Daryl brought us to. That Daryl stayed all night until like 9, 10 at night. He didn't even come home that night.
Daryl comes back like 11 at night. We're like, "Hey, Daryl, how's the beach?"
I didn't see him come back. He's probably still there.
Good trip, but we have to do it. We have to do it again, definitely. And maybe we'll make it like a yearly thing. How we're like we take that beach, we go do that rock climb.
Definitely got to do the rock climb again. Definitely.
Just gotta be real careful though, because you want to be falling off.
Yeah, you can't get too confident about it. Like, oh, I did it last year, so I'm just gonna climb up like a spider this year. You know what I mean? You gotta like, dude. It's because it's real rocky and jagged. The rocks. If you trip and you fall the wrong way, how high you think that is, Hieu?
Dude, at least 40 feet.
At least. And it's all like rocks at the bottom too.
So I'm gonna start on one of my synchronicities, and then we can talk about it. And then it'll be your turn, and you can share yours. How about that?
All right, I'll try to think of more to happen. Yeah.
All right, and it could be something small, something personal too. You know, it doesn't really have to make sense to other people, and that's the best thing about synchronicities, guys. It doesn't have to make sense to other people, as long as it's personal to you. So I'll start. Growing up, I had a neighbor, right? And this is like when we first came to America, and I was like 4 years old. We had a neighbor, and his name was Scott, and he was like our age. So we were able to like bond and get to know each other. As neighbors, you know, we would go to each other's houses, play games. We would just do all sorts of things. Go on trips together, go camping together, go to the movies together, that sort of thing, right? As you grow up as a child and you have a neighbor like that. His name was Scott, and it was so great. He also had a dad. His name was Mike, and I think he fought in the Vietnam War. Yeah, he was just like always there. He was always nice. He had a Volkswagen Beetle, I remember. And he would just take us all around, you know. He would take us to play golf, like miniature golf. We would go to the arcade. We would go swimming in the pool. It was great. Anyways, time flies by, right? And Scotty grows up. He doesn't do so well. They end up moving to Arizona. And Scotty doesn't do well. He ends up getting in trouble with the law, that sort of thing, right? And then I think his dad ends up passing away, or he got sick or whatever. But I've always thought of them. I always thought Mike and Scott, so dear to my heart, right? And I'm like doing my daily walk in my neighborhood, right? And I do this daily neighborhood walk all the time. And I was always just thinking about them. Mike and Scott, Mike and Scott. And then in my daily walk, there's this house like that I pass by, and it's like the nicest, like well manicured house, well, like just taken care of. Grass is perfect. They have like a American flag on a pole, and the cars are always washed and clean. Everything's trimmed. The shrubbery is, the paint is nicely painted. Anyway, it's a really nice house that I walk by. And I get to meet him one day. And I meet the son. There's a son and a father that lives there. And no doubt the son's name is Scott and the father's name is Mike. And these aren't the same people. They're just two different people that actually live in my neighborhood again. The son named Scott and the father named Mike. And I talk to them now, and we're in great terms. We talk a lot. But isn't that an amazing synchronicity? And you're like thinking, oh, Hieu, that's so dumb. It's just a coincidence. Blah, 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 blah. But it's personal, you know? Once it hits home, like it's so personal to you. And then it happens where it's like not a coincidence, a similarity, but it's like, how is it even related? But the fact that it happened to me, it's like you can't deny it. Yeah. At least I can't. And it might not, but that's the thing. It's like it's personal to me. It might not personal. It might not speak to you, but you probably have things that you're like, whoa, like I saw this or I met this person at this moment in time. This happened, and it's just so many like crazy moments, and I just wonder like was someone just like listening to my thoughts and knew like what I was thinking and how I was feeling, and then they just these duel of people randomly appear in my neighborhood that I meet, and their names are the same names.
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes you'll be just driving and you'll see street names of like people and things that just happened to you. You know, like you'll be driving around, like Sue sent me a picture of Ray Street one day or Raymond Street or something, you know, and like it happens to me too all the time. I think that's a small synchronicity. What happened to me and you, Hieu? Remember like when we were at Daryl's house and we were driving along and like things kept happening to us and we're like, no, there's nothing weird about that at all. Nothing strange about that, right? So one of them I remember. Because like sometimes you can't remember. It's kind of might be good to take a journal of these things. I don't know why, but
like synchronicities happen so fast. It's like dreaming, where you just forget them right away.
Yeah, you forget them exactly. But I remember one that happened to us. So we went to Flat Earth Farms. You know, there's a lot of nugs everywhere, right? And then me and Hieu were like, yeah, let's go find something to eat, right? So we went to like Hieu wanted breakfast, I wanted lunch. It was brunch time. So we went to this place that had breakfast and lunch, and
it was good.
It was good, and I got a BLT, and I was like, "This is a good sandwich. Like, what is it? What is this place called?" And I look up, and Hieu saw it at the same time as me, and we both looked at each other, and we were like, "There's nothing weird about that." The place was called Nuggets.
Nuggets.
You know what I'm saying? That was weird.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was happening to me and Hieu the whole time. Like,
yeah, especially like considering the place that we were at.
Yeah. But what happened?
Unlimited.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, it was cool. But it was weird how there was a lot of synchronicities happen when me and you were together. You know, sometimes it seems like they don't happen as much, and then sometimes they're more frequent. You know, which I don't know if that means anything, but
I think they happen all the time. It's just we don't see them.
Yeah, you gotta be looking. Yeah, you gotta be looking. So what happened to another weird thing that happened to me was when I went, all right, I don't know if you would call this a synchronicity, but I kind of do. So I went to meet I had a layover in San Francisco, and I went to meet Sue, who's in the chat. And what are the chances that Sue's going to show up at the airport to meet me on a 3-hour layover to see me for like an hour? But she did, right? And what are the chances of me ending up in San Francisco? Like, you know, like my flight was just happened to be going there and there was a layover, you know, I had no control over it, right? And then when we were there, the news was there. And I ended up on the news. You want to play the video? It's quick. Yeah. So here I am at the airport. And next thing I know, I'm like surrounded by news cameras, and I'm like, whoa, it's a Truman Show.
Yeah, dude. How does that happen, dude? Are you like randomly in front of two cameras?
Dude, I was like, what am I famous? Like I was made for this. I was like, okay, if they want a speech, I'm going to give them a speech.
Dude, right, like you're on the Truman Show, dude.
And I wasn't even going to go over to them, but Sue was like, go, see if they'll let you say something. And I'm like, all right. It was like, I had to do it, you know. I was with Sue. She kind of like dared me, you know. It was like a dare. I was like, dare me. I'll go right over there.
Ray, why are you feeding the media?
It was funny, though. I didn't really give them anything. I was just like, I'm Boston Ray, and that's my slice of the mud.
So that's what news reporters are.
Yeah, I'll shut the volume up. But yeah, I was just like, I'm Boston Ray, and that's my slice of the mud. They were like, oh, so what happened was there happened to be, like, I don't know, delays on the flight or something. But I didn't know nothing about the delays. My flight wasn't delayed, and I was on time and everything. But they were like, there's delays on your airline. And I'm like, okay, I'll do an interview.
So, have you heard about this United ground delay, and where were you when it was happening?
Look at this guy's face. Look, no one else is doing it, just him.
I never flew United before. Enjoyed the flight. There was a lot of space.
Sue said it was like the Truman Show. Sue just said it was like the Truman Show.
So you never knew anything was going on. I didn't know nothing now until I seen you.
I was like, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing.
So I guess now it's been lifted.
You got everything.
So you got another United flight.
Okay, Sue's even videotaping you.
Look how enthusiastic this guy is. This guy looks like something right out of the movie The Truman Show. I mean, look at this guy. You know, they're like, oh, let's get him on camera.
What about the background people? They could be actors too.
Yeah, so the background people, you know, they could just be like NPCs, like put into your life for that moment, and then you never see them again. And who knows, right? Who knows?
We're probably wondering, like, is there a lady filming this?
So I was just like, yeah. And then at the end, I was like, I'm Boston Ray, and that's my slice of the mud. And they're like, what are you? And I was like, Boston Ray Mudfoot Adventures on YouTube. You think they played it on the news in San Francisco?
I don't know, dude.
Do you think I made the cut?
Good job, Ray.
I caught a synchronicity on camera. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, actually Sue filmed that. That wasn't my shaking filming. That was Sue's camera.
You'll know when you have a good synchronicity when it happens, and then you just yell and you just start talking to nobody like, what's going on? What do you want to tell me? What do you want me to pick up? What do you want me to know? What do you want me to do? What does this mean? When you start talking to yourself about that
Yeah.
out loud, that's how you know you just got into a good synchronicity.
Yeah. I have another one that happened. It's kind of like, okay. So like I was in Boston, right? And I was like looking around, I was looking up at all the signs, like there was like a billboard, and it was like, dude, it was like the movie They Live, dude, like literally. I can't get it. It ain't gonna come up. But anyway, it was basically saying like all these crazy messages, like spend like a champion, things like that. Like, and I was like, I felt like I was in the movie They Live for a minute. It was like that. So my shorts won't play tonight. It happens to the best of us.
When I get a personal synchronicity, I always wonder, like, God, are you telling me something? Do I need to do something right now? Do I need to consider my choices wisely at this moment in time?
Yeah.
You know,
It could be like a spiritual thing, like you should pay attention
very spiritual.
and ask questions to yourself about it and make a note of it. Because sometimes you might not even know what it means until later. It might not mean nothing to you at the time, and then it might happen. The synchronicity might happen to you later, and you'll be like, "Oh, like after the fact." After the fact synchronicities. Is that a thing? Did I just coin that term?
Yeah, for sure.
On Hieu TV, after the fact synchronicities.
It ultimately ends up leading you to the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
That, like, in the spirit realm, or I mean, you can coin it ether. A lot of people just call it spiritual, right? The spirit realm, where
Yeah.
everything happens. All the energy just kind of like is there, and it just kind of decides what's going to happen, and then it happens in this 3D physical form that we're in.
Yeah.
As we wake up and live our lives.
Yeah. And I think when you start looking for them, they start happening even more frequently, or you just start noticing them more,
I totally believe that we have angels or guardian angels or guiding angels, um, spirit guides who lead the way for us, protect us, do miraculous things to help us accomplish what we want to accomplish while we're here.
Yeah,
I think it's totally true. And with personal synchronicities, it just kind of makes sense that you're kind of like protected. You're given the right information at the right time.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, it's like that. And yeah, sometimes like you'll be really stressed out about something that's happening, and then all of a sudden everything just comes together. Like how I ended up here, in Florida. It's like,
tell them the story.
Well, yeah, like I was having problems back at my house. Everyone who watches my channel knows what happened. And I needed to get out of there, and I needed a bigger place anyway, because it was like when I first had when me and Michelle first moved in, the place wasn't too bad, and it was just us, and it was cheap, and we were like, whatever, it's just us, Then we had my son. I'm like, well, there's just three of us, we can do it. Then we had my daughter. I'm like, well, when they're babies, it's okay because we can put them in the same room, but once they get older, they're gonna need their own rooms, They started getting older, and then they're not that old. My son's only 5 and my daughter's 3, but they were getting bigger. And then we had another baby. So now I have a third baby, an infant. He's like 5 or 6 months, and he's getting big. And we were like, dude, we need to get a bigger place anyway, But Like I was having trouble in Boston getting a place for years. It's like impossible, dude. It's impossible to get an apartment or anything. Like, and I came down in January, saw Tommy, and I was like, it's really nice down in Florida where you're at. You know, I want to move here someday. Just be a good place to like raise kids. You know, I could tell. And next thing you know, like by the end of the year, I already live here. I just feel.
You truly manifested it. You manifested it, dude.
Manifested it.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did. I believe in manifestation.
If Boston Ray can do it, you can do it.
Well, yeah, you know, I started looking into manifestation because of Karen B. Actually, you know, she talks about it a lot. And the first time I tried to manifest anything was when those stars lined up, dude. And it worked. You know, like what was it, the Christmas star, like 2 years ago or something. I forget what it was called. It was like some stars lining up at Christmas Eve or something. I forget. I don't know. But and then 1111, the numbers 1111, those are the manifestation numbers. So whenever you see 1111 pop up, and that's another thing, Hieu, the number 33, the number 66, all these numbers always pop up. Certain people see certain numbers more than others, but you know, like when those numbers pop up, that's a synchronicity too. You know, Tommy, what up? So,
Tommy, you missed your. I think we might have to show it again.
Yeah, you can show it. Tommy has ones of him riding on the go-kart on his Facebook. Yeah, there's more. I don't have them all.
We're gonna have to show it again. This is you, Tommy. Hold on. Thanks for joining, guys. This is Hieu TV. All right. Do you see, Tommy? There you go.
Yeah, he scares me when he does this. Tommy told me he'd give me candy if I got on his go-kart, and I got on his go-kart, and he gave me a piece of candy, and then we drove around the block, and he almost crashed into like 4 things, but he's good. Yeah, he's fast. They used to call him Lightning in high school.
Good job, Tommy. How's the show so far? We're talking about synchronicities here.
We're doing good. We're doing good. I think.
You know, if you think about it, your whole life is a synchronicity. You know that?
Yeah, maybe, perhaps.
In the right perspective, everything's meant to be, y'all.
Yeah.
It's all about like the checks and balances. The synchronicities, I believe, help us kind of like stay in our lanes, you know? It tells us like, hey, like, maybe watch out for that. Look out for this. Protect yourself. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think so. I definitely know through my personal synchronicities that someone is definitely observing my life, watching, giving me tips, helping me out. I'm just blown away, Boston Ray, that you moved your whole family to Florida.
Yeah, I didn't even expect it, dude. I didn't even expect it.
Dude, that's just amazing. Living from Boston, I remember you be carrying those bags like down the street.
Oh man,
taking the bus.
It was tough.
Your family had to like take the bus too, right?
Yeah, but we liked having the bus and the train because we could get around. You can get anywhere, but it's, you know, like once you're outside of the city, you see it differently, dude. It, you know, you actually have to look from the outside. When you live there, you think it's like the greatest thing. You know, you're like, oh, everything's right here. Oh, there's so many people here. You know, it's like a big party all the time. But then when you actually live on the outside and you see how the people are living, you're like, whoa, like they have no space. They're stacked up on each other like boxes. They work all week to pay like friggin' $3,000 in rent for like a small ass place, and it's like impossible to afford.
Yeah.
They're making it impossible to live there.
I find it amazing that it's all due to YouTube and the fact that you've built relationships through YouTube, and you wind up in Florida, moving your whole family.
Yeah,
you experience a lot. I think you've gone through a lot, right? From the beginning
I think I've grown a lot.
Yeah, dude, you've elevated. And maybe later on, we're going to talk about how to raise your vibration.
Yeah,
I think that's what you've done. You've gone to the next level.
I think so too. I think so too, and I can thank Singe Man for that a lot. You know, he's like my brother. You know, and I talk to him every day, and he's like, when I start to get into like lower frequencies, you know, like negative thoughts and things like that, he's so leveled up. He just like, it just goes right over him, and he just like, he can feel it though. He can feel your emotions and shit, and it bothers him.
Really?
Yeah, but he always has a way of making you feel better and bring your vibration up. Singe Man, I'm so happy that I met him in life, just to have him as a friend. You know, he's always there when I need him. And that's something else I met through YouTube, and I made from YouTube. So it's like, you know, YouTube doesn't pay. You don't make shit in money, but the relationships you make and the friends you make are priceless. You can't pay for friends like that. You know.
Wow. You heard it here on Hieu TV. Ray's so sentimental.
No, I just appreciate everything that everybody's done. I don't know. I couldn't even repay them, but I will try. There's Daryl, awesome person that I met from YouTube. He has such a big heart. He helps out everybody.
Since friends coming up.
Yeah. We were just hanging out. So we were going to the Canafest 2023. Humboldt. Boom, baby. And Daryl got us a bed and breakfast, and it was really nice. And they had a hot tub. We were going to do a hot tub stream, but I passed out. I wish I did, though. I wish I got in the hot tub with Daryl.
That Airbnb.
We'll do it next year. Next year, Hieu, we're all going in the hot tub in August, if there's one. Daryl has a few laying around.
That was just only a few months ago.
I know. It feels like a long time went by, though. But it was like 2 months ago. A month is a long time in YouTube time, dude. I realized if you like take a month off and then you come back to YouTube, it's like a different place. They change the platform. Things look different. Everything. People are different. Shows are different. You can make it or break it in a month on YouTube.
I swear, in Singe Man's previous life, he was like a Chinese warrior.
I know. Look at this stuff.
If this isn't the proof of reincarnation, what?
Yeah, so that is interesting. Like people who do things, like he looks like an Asian. You know what I mean? Like maybe he was Asian in his past life.
Probably. He's more Asian than I am.
Oh man. But he is a ninja.
Hey, you know what? You know what's another synchronicity? We're at the Asian Airbnb.
Oh yeah, it looked like an Asian. I didn't notice it. Hieu pointed it out to me. He was like, "You notice how the plants look Asian in the art and everything that's around? It's kind of like it looks like a garden in a yard that's in like Asia." And I was looking around and I was like, "Yeah, I can see it." I was feeling the vibes. It was a nice little spot, you know. Daryl hooked us up. And then we went to the Canifest, and that was amazing, dude.
And there's you just contemplating
it. I forget what I was doing. No, I was having a blast. Yeah, I was thinking about life. I had a lot on my mind because I had all this. I still have a lot going on, but it was like I was trying to focus, you know. But it was tough here. It was tough, you know, with everything going on. It was crazy back home. People texting me and all kinds of shit going off at all times.
Yeah, that was a tough time in your life.
Yeah,
doing all that, but you made it through it. You made it through it.
But that's a synchronicity because it seems like I ended up at Flat Earth Farms right at the right time. But
right, that's right.
It wasn't like I planned it for that time. I was already planning on going like 2 months in advance, and we got the tickets and everything.
Yeah, gave you the best break ever.
It was like the perfect spot for me to be at that time for that amount of time too. It was like I stayed a little bit longer than I was gonna stay, but I wasn't sure when I was gonna leave. Like it was unclear. Like I was like, yeah, I could leave anytime I want, but I just kind of set the ticket for like a few weeks, like a month in advance, and I was gonna move it back whenever I was gonna leave, and that's what I did. But like I went back right at the right time. I went in right at the right time. And then I ended up in Florida at the right time.
There you go. Let's take a break out, y'all. This is a great video so far. We're talking about synchronicities and leveling up.
This should get like 1 million views by tomorrow, right?
They should teach this in high school, but
yeah,
they don't. So
they don't.
I don't know why. I don't know why they don't. But thank you for joining this episode of Hieu TV. We'll be back.
We are concerned about troubling trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 It's a lie.
don't trust fake news.
That was amazing, Ray. If y'all don't know, Ray's a very talented person, plays instruments amazingly, the guitar. What doesn't he do?
Bass.
Multi-talented.
Rap. Yo, so speaking of the music, I had a synchronicity. So when I started my show, right, I had Scott on from the beginning. Scott used to come on as a guest, like when I put the link out, and just, he before we even started Levelhead, before I even met Christian in real life, like I always wanted to be in a band, and well, I was in bands, but I wanted to be in a band and actually go on tour and tour the whole country. It was one of my dreams in life to do that one day. And I told Christian that one night, and he was like, like, I can make that happen. And Christian did make that happen, and that was amazing. But we needed a drummer, because we were using Freddie Vox, the amp, and we were just drum machine, and we were just banging out songs, me and Christian. Like, it was like lightning. It was like lightning. And we were just like, boom. But then we went to, we ended up, so when Scott was on my show one night, he was like, I'm a drummer. He told me like 4 or 5 times that he was a drummer. And I was always like, well, let's play some of your music. Like, what do you got? And he never really showed me anything except for like one time. And I didn't even believe that it was him. I was like, that's you in the back? Because he looks different when he comes on the screen. He's like real tall and different in real life. Like, so, and he has like kind of like long hair, but you can't really tell, because when he's looking at you on the screen. But so, dude, long story short, okay, let's cut to the chase. I made it to Scott's house in North Carolina this year, and he became the drummer for Levelhead because I met him on YouTube, and we needed a drummer, and it was like a synchronicity. You know what I mean? Because I just ended up there.
Yeah, things just work out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
He's like the best drummer.
Dude,
He's like
I'm telling you, I think like in the ether somewhere or before our life, we plan on like meeting each other. And that's how things work out, dude. Like these synchronicities, like pre-planned events that become synchronicities. Yeah. And it's like, there's no other way to explain it except it was already written out. We were meant to be. Like where you are right now, that's a synchronicity, dude.
I know.
Where I am, where everything,
so quick.
Everything had to align and come together for you to be where you are at in this moment, in this reality. And whether it is a simulation or not, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I used to think, oh, like, yeah, we are God's creation, which I still believe.
Yeah.
However, it's like, what is this reality then? What is this creation made of? Is it made of ones and zeros? Is it made of coding? Is it made of what is it made out of?
Water.
But it's like so many synchronicities that happen, so many things that correlations.
Yeah.
Scripted coincidences.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing, like with the flat earth and everything else, it all fits together, dude. You could still believe that the earth is flat and believe that it's a synchronicity and believe that it's a simulation and see the mud flood and see the Mandela effects. And you could have it all. You don't have to just limit yourself to one thing. You know what I mean? Then you're just trapped in a box. Like I was in Boston.
One argument for a digital reality or a reality that is binary is that I just feel like sometimes my life just kind of like, how like there's software updates and things just kind of get better, like just like that. But I don't know, like I feel like my life just at increments of time, it just kind of like either like sharpens or it defines itself in a better way. And of course, there's negative things too that happen in my life. But like I feel like in terms of experiencing like reality in its state of goodness, it just, and maybe it's just where I am mentally and spiritually, that resonates with it. But I just feel like it always upgrades, it always changes, it always, it's not the same as it was before. And whether it upgrades or downgrades, it's always changing. Do you feel like that too, or am I like the only one who thinks like
No, I feel like I've been upgrading. Yeah,
not like there's software updates? I just feel like there's reality updates too.
I think it has to do with how good you are to people. If you're a good person and you're good to people, you elevate. Good things happen, and then boom. You know, if you live a good life, an honest life, you tell the truth. I think that's the way to go. Now, you know, you know, when I used to hear people talk about frequencies, you know, like you're vibrating at a low frequency. You know, when I was vibrating at a low frequency, I used to think they were crazy. Like people tell me they're crazy when I talk about you're vibrating at a frequency or something, right? But you can see it, dude. There's frequencies everywhere. Like the stars show patterns, you know, cymatics, you know, all the ripples in the water, the wind, like just the natural way things are. And you know, when you're vibrating at a low frequency, you know, you don't pay attention to nature at all. You're just kind of like miserable walking around in your own little bubble. But once you can open up and you can start to feel other people's frequencies too. And that's interesting. You know, like when you feel like a vibe the person's giving off, or a negative frequency. And then once you get more sensitive to that, you learn how to avoid negative stuff, and you try to always go up. And then there's like these things we call energy vampires, where they're like negative people that they can smell it off of you. When you're in a good mood and you're outside and you're just like la da 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 da, like everything's just like, you know, flowers and peach. It's like these people, they suck it out of you. They're like, oh, he's happy today. Let's do something to just piss him off.
It's a real thing.
Down. It's a real thing, dude. It happens to me all the time. But
you used to not believe in it. You used to not believe in it.
No, I used to think people were nuts. I used to, what are they talking about? You know, until you can actually feel the frequencies and see them yourself. That's what you think people are crazy. That's
how did you shift into that change of being sensitive to it?
I started waking up, and I started looking at like stars and cymatics, and me and Sinjman do shows on cymatics every once in a while called Frequent Searchology 101. Class is now in session. Please sit in the back. And like we compare frequencies, you know, like we'll look at like the ripples in the water and like ripples in the stars and like pause them and see if they line up. And then I started realizing about mud flood and the Antiquitech and how all the buildings were using frequencies to get free electricity, and the whole earth could be a circuit board. It probably is giant circuit board with the buildings and stuff. Each building's a computer piece. And then I started seeing the frequencies of colors, you know, like flowers and things like that. You know, like bright colors give off all colors are frequency. You know what I mean? There's frequencies everywhere. The Wi-Fi signals. Yeah.
When you smoke weed, you're really sensitive to the frequencies too.
Yeah, I saw the frequency of weed because we were looking at plant frequencies and stuff like that, and weed gives off a frequency. The flower, marijuana, gives off a frequency, and it's a crazy one. You know, mushrooms make sounds. They hook up. You ever seen the mushroom sounds? You? No, you want to see it?
Sure.
It's interesting, dude. They hook up these like mushroom, like little like roach clips to the mushrooms, and like they listen to the sound waves coming off of like different plants and stuff like that. And yeah, look, here it goes. All right, I'm just gonna play it quick. It's 5 minutes of oyster mushrooms, but I'll just play a few minutes of it. So this, like, they do this to all kinds of plants. Commercial. All right. This is it. Watch. So they got like this machine they hook up. That's the mushrooms making that sound. The sound waves are coming out of the mushrooms, dude. Can you believe it? So they do that kind of test on all kinds of things, and they can find frequencies coming out of everything and everywhere. Frequency and vibration, Tesla. He said, to unlock the secrets of the universe, study frequency and vibration. And if I don't know if he was a real person or not, but they quoted him on that. So somebody knows something, right?
Yeah, it's very powerful. And it's important. That's why we talk about frequencies, vibration. It's very important to raise it, because if you're stuck on a low, heavy frequency and vibration, that's where you're gonna remain. You know, if you're dense, you're gonna sink. And if you're lighter, you're gonna rise to the top. And
Yeah,
why is it important to rise? Well, it's important because you don't want to be stuck in something so heavy. You want to be free, right? You want to be light. You want to be able to move and travel wherever, whenever you want. That sort of thing. The feeling of freedom, of being light, of rising to the top. The feeling of improving, elevating. They call it changing like levels, right? Upgrading. They talk about that's the reason why people like climb to Mount Everest all the way to the top. They want to get to the top. There's a weird instinctive urge that we all have to improve, to get better, and it is important. I think it is.
It's important to be aware of it, you know, because like when you're giving off bad frequencies, you know, you get bad results, you know. So like if you're aware of your own frequency that you're giving off, that's a start, you know. It's a big jump. But then you'll start noticing how everything works in frequencies and patterns and waves, stuff like that. Everything's wavy. It comes and goes, you know, kind of like the Mandela effect, you know. It's like things can just change. Like, you know, I have one that really bothered me lately. You know, the Bing Crosby one. I mean, I know it's an old one, but it's kind of new to me. I wasn't aware of it. So like, I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me, right? Like my dad used to sing that song, like just, you know, messing at Christmas time, like when we were kids. And it was always, you can count on me. And even when I remember him saying it. And now when you look it up, he says, you can plan on me. You can plan on me. It just doesn't sound right. It's like, where am I?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Did I shift when I went to sleep last night? Like, I mean, it's like, it's a different meaning. Like, you know, cause like all right, if you're counting on someone, Hieu, right? It's like, you can count on me, man. I'll be there. Well, that person's usually going to be there when they say that. But if you're planning on something, it might happen. It might not. It's a plan. It could happen. You know, it's like, it's iffy, you know? So to me, it's different. I don't know what it means, but it's different.
When did it change for you?
I just noticed it the other day, but other people are like, oh, it's like 4 years old, blah, 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 you know, whatever.
Plan on me.
Yeah, for me, it's like, it means that like maybe I'm in a different reality today than I was, and all you people were still in the same reality or something like that.
I think the Mandela effect just proves that when we shift in our vibration, we enter kind of in a different reality or dimension. We're all in the same space, but in terms of our mind and how we're vibing, we will see and experience things of that similar vibration. So, and whether things change or not, I think it just shows us that shows the nature of how fluid this place is and how easily things can change. So don't. It's hard not to get stuck on them, right? Because we want to focus on them so much. I think it's important also to have the also a bigger, wider lens or wider scope of, all right, it is changing. Let's not get stuck on it, but how can I take this knowledge and use it to, I don't know, increase the value, the happiness of my life? And there can be a lot of manipulation in terms of energy and in terms of intention, because those two things are powerful, you know. And I totally believe that our intentions go into the realm of the ether and can orchestrate events, people to come into your life, certain events, special events that you have intended yourself. And I think that's ultimately the origin of synchronicities. That's just my belief, is that you intended it to happen.
Like you manifested it.
You wanted it to happen, and it happened. And the reason why it happened is because you put yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
So, it is powerful, very powerful. And I'm glad we're here to talk about it. And based on your vibration, whether it's high or low, will result in certain types of synchronicities that will match your vibration.
I want to show something cool.
My point is, I guess my point is, synchronicities will always happen to you. It just depends on the vibration that you want to choose these synchronicities to happen.
So, have you ever heard of a mandala? Kind of sounds like Mandela, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you know what a mandala is?
Yeah, it's like you can spin it and it'll the focal point is always in the center.
So this is a video that I've watched, and it's pretty interesting. And it couldn't be how the Mandela effect kind of works, right? So a mandala, Sanskrit, Romanized mandala, lit circle, geometric configuration of symbols in various spiritual traditions. I think, I don't know, Indian people made them. Don't quote me on that. Mandalas may be employed for focusing.
No, I think they're universal, like all over the world. They have.
It's like Buddhist too, right? Buddhism. So anyway, check this out.
Even in Catholic Christian.
And they show how, things can shift.
We can also use different shapes of plate. Here we have a triangular plate with a crystal attached to its underside.
You can see the frequencies.
A sonorous figure. We change to a higher note and see a rather more complicated figure.
And it shifts. They change the frequency a little, and the pattern shifts. So what you're seeing with your eyes changes. Let's see what it says. As a spiritual guidance tool for establishing a sacred space and as an aid to meditation and trance induction in the Eastern religions of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and what is that? Shintoism? I never seen that. It is used as a map representing deities, or especially in the case of Shintoism, paradises, kami, or actual shrines. So this is like a religious thing for these people.
Oh yeah, you could probably see a lot of mandalas in art as well. So the similar resonance will transfer into people's artists' renderings.
Yeah, the mandala that they make are amazing.
Look at all about patterns.
The patterns that they make, yeah, it's like, how did they do it?
And that's the thing with synchronicities, is the patterns that you see.
Lycopodium alone.
Yeah.
Sonorous figure.
It says mandala as an art form first appeared in Buddhist art that were produced in India during the 1st century BCE. In New Age, the mandala is a diagram chart or geometric pattern that represents the cosmos metaphysically or symbolically. So it represents the stars. The stars are giving off frequencies. I don't know if I believe in the cosmos,
Transition
but
to a mobile flowing phase.
That's what she's.
A time of microcosm of the universe, but it originally meant to represent wholeness and a model for the organizational structure of life itself. A cosmic diagram that shows the relation of the infinite in the world that extends beyond and within various minds and bodies.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. People in your life will vibrate differently. And when they vibrate differently, they will become different people. And I've experienced it and I've seen it. And even yourself as well. Once you start vibrating differently,
yeah,
different people are going to be attracted to you. You're gonna look different. You're gonna feel different.
Oh yeah, you definitely attract different people.
You know what? Like as we're vibrating, like and changing our frequencies, it can be intentional too. It can actually be intentional. And I think the ones that have mastered it on this place that we live on, they've learned how to manipulate or intentionally change the frequency around them so that they can influence other people in the way that they want to. So it can be an art as well.
It's like enlightenment. When you get to the enlightenment period, you start to realize, well, you know, I don't know. There's always more waking up to do. I don't think you're ever fully awake.
So the best way I can explain like a frequency and vibration is like, you know, you go into like a big stadium, you know, football stadium, and it's very exciting. You're gonna pick up on that vibe, right? It's like you get that type.
You notice how every city, Hieu, has a big football stadium or a baseball, you know, and they bring all the people in, right? Like, and they can make you feel happy or sad, or you know, you can get pissed because they're losing the game or like whatever, right? So they get everyone from the whole friggin' city, people come in from out of town and everything for these games, right? And then they make them feel an emotion all at the same time in this one spot, and they can control how you feel if they, you know, fix the game or whatever, however they want.
Very
so that could be like they're using the people as batteries. You know how they say like we have negative emotions and positive emotions, Hieu? Well, batteries have a negative and a positive. And when you're watching the news or anything on the TV, they're making you feel a certain way. And it's important to pay attention to the vibrations that the TV gives off, because
the charge that it gives off.
What are they trying to make you feel? And they could make the whole population feel a certain way if everybody's watching and they show something, you know. And I think they're testing it too, you know. It's like a big, you know, test for them to see how much they can control everything using the TVs and everything, you know, the games and everything else.
It just shows how important it is to vibe at your own frequency. Don't let like outside media, outside people control
how you feel.
Vibe.
Yeah. And it's tough to do. It's like a constant fight every day to stay on your frequency and not fall off your game, because they'll catch you slipping. Like you'll just be there for like a few minutes, like not thinking about staying at a high frequency, and someone comes out of the woodwork. What?
That's where like the spiritual aspect comes in, because it's only like in the spirit realm that they know your frequency and your vibe. They pick up on it. It's a spiritual thing, you know, like you can feel it, you know. And then they know, so they want to get that like positive like energy out of you. They want to like infest you with this negativity. And that's what social media does. That's what society wants to do, is to bring you down to that level. Because when they know, it's like the visual of like a bucket of like crabs, you know. One tries to escape, but all the crabs end up pulling that one down, trying to pull you down. Don't let them pull you down.
No, don't. And be ready for them. Be looking for them every day when you go out. Just be in a good mood and just look for the people that are gonna piss you off and just avoid them. Just that's how
yeah, I think that's why synchronicities, they give us like a light of hope. Whenever like we feel like we're like in the mud, in the trenches, and then we fall upon a synchronicity and it gives us hope again. It tells us, oh, someone's watching, someone really cares.
Yeah.
We can get out of this mess. We can make things better. We can improve our relationships. How many relationships that have gone sour that you can put in the effort if you change your frequency, put in the effort and make it better.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how well it would turn out.
There's so many people that I made.
You yourself, all you have to do is change your own frequency, and then the other person will end up ultimately matching it a lot of times. I'm not saying for every case.
Yeah. And I forgot what I was going to say. I had something now. Daryl's in the chat.
I know. Daryl says, I bet he's ready for a care. Daryl, thank you again. Thanks once again. But I go through my product fairly slow. Like I don't go through it very fast. So I like to savor it and just enjoy it. Hope all is well. I, as well as Singeman and Boston Ray, got to experience Flat Earth Farms.
Yeah, we did.
A few months ago. We had, 4 days, 3 nights. At least I did have there.
We're going back in August, Daryl? Is that what I heard? Is that the word on the street?
And Daryl, I got to show you the new sponsored ad for Flat Earth Farms. Here we go.
Oh, a real country breakfast, the best you ever tried. Pick up some Flat Earth Farms breakfast bud bites.
Flat Earth Farms breakfast bud bites. Made with the best cuts of bud. Just like at home. Packed full of fresh country flavor. From the skillet to your plate. Tasty breakfast bud bites.
Tasty breakfast bud bites from Flat Earth Farms. Try some today.
Available at all purveyors of fine products near you.
Thank you, Singeman. I hope you enjoyed that, Daryl. Can you tell I do like what was created for us? Very excited. Had to show it multiple times today.
Yeah,
how are we doing so far?
I think we're doing great. We have like 10 people. Everyone give it a thumbs up and post it on your channel.
Dude, I think we talked a lot about synchronicities,
Yeah.
I think, do you think like prayers that come true, do you think that's a synchronicity?
Or a manifestation.
Right?
Right.
It kind of like overlaps each other. Like
it's like the Bible tells you if you have faith, right? Like, and you believe, you really believe, it's going to happen, maybe. So, yeah, it seems like when you put all your energy and focus all on one thing, you can manifest it. Maybe it's God. Maybe it's the natural order of the frequencies just pushing you along the, to the right spot.
Yeah, and even the fact that I met Daryl was a synchronicity. There was a time when I was like purchasing at the dispensary, and I was like, man, I'm paying so much, and I'm getting so little.
Yeah.
It's all due to the unnecessary packaging and testing.
Yeah.
And I kind of like sat in my car and I was like, God, help me out. I don't want to go down this route where I'm spending all this money on product and it's like not even worth it. It's like for the amount, it's just not worth it. Like I need a new way. And like no doubt, like I think it was like a day or two later, I was like just connected with Daryl. And Daryl's makes it affordable for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like who listened to my prayer? Like how did that come true? And it just happened within like a day or two. Like for some reason there has to be some emotional charge that sets off a synchronicity or an intention, but there has to be some emotional backing behind it for it to like get started, and then ultimately it happens. And like I said,
and I think it has to do with being honest and being in truth. You know, if you do something in truth, then it usually happens for you. If you're dishonest and living a shitty life and a scumbag, it just spirals down and bad things keep happening, you know. And then sometimes bad things happen to good people, you know. I think that's a sign that you're slipping and you need to catch yourself slipping and bring your vibration back up and be better, be a better person. We can always do better. We can do better.
And that's the great thing is every morning we wake up and we get to start all over again.
Yeah.
You know, like you can just start all over again and try. Okay, today I'm going to try to bump up 2 levels. Yesterday I bumped down 2 levels. So and there's always
like a negative place. It's not
like a
over.
Restart in the morning as you open up your eyes. You're like, okay, bad things can happen, but depending on my emotional state and my attitude, I can change my frequency and I can make better things happen in my reality. It's real because then you end up putting yourself into better situations, better places, around better people, and then your environment just magically just improves.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
happened to me.
And you're like, what the heck happened?
It's amazing when it happens. And you're like, how did this happen so quick? You know, like I didn't expect to be here by the end of the year, like before the year was even over. Like I went all around the US all year. And I never traveled in my life, really. I went a few places, but I'm not a traveler. Now I travel like the best of them. I know how to get on the plane. I know what to pack, what not to pack. Like, I'm ready to go. Where are we going next? You know, I'm ready to see where this whole thing is going to take Boston Ray next. I'm excited about it.
How does Michelle feel about moving to Florida?
I feel like she had like, what do they call it? Stockholm syndrome. Like when you're like locked in a box for 15 years, her whole life. And she's like 30 something. And that's all she knew was like the city and the way city life is and living in a box. Like I've been around different places, so I've seen how other people are living. So it kind of opened my mind, but got me thinking outside the box. But Michelle, she wasn't ready for it, dude. And my kids too are like, whoa, we have all this now, and they're like running around from front to back, and they have their own rooms, and they don't even sleep. I got them brand new beds, and they don't even sleep in their beds yet because they're too afraid to even sleep in their own rooms. They're young. And they're in with Michelle, they sleep in one room still, you know? And I'm like, wow. And, you know, eventually it'll wear off. Michelle's starting to come around a little bit more. You know, she's like, I want to go back to Boston. She still got this thought in her head, like she wants to go back. We were with Ben Flat last night, and she was saying it's a Ben. Like, I still want to go back. We ain't going back. We're never going back. They just...
I think it's a good move. It's a good move. You guys have more space.
Yeah. You know, it's like Brian left Boston and came to the South, and he loves it more. You know, it's like I never go back to Boston, and I'm like that now too.
So I'm going to share another synchronicity.
Yeah.
Very personal to me as well. So if y'all know, I got into the truth community. A big part was with Brian Staveley, and I have shared these synchronicities with him. Before meeting Brian, I lived in his same hometown. I lived in Boston for 3 years, in Lowell, Massachusetts, the same hometown as Brian.
Can I say one thing real quick? The lady next door to me is from Lowell.
See?
How weird. That's a synchronicity, right?
Weird synchronicity, isn't it? Out of all
the places she lived in, she's from Lowell. She's a cat lady. She has like 1 million cats, but she's cool.
I'm telling you, something about Lowell.
How did I end up next to somebody from Boston, from Lowell, where you and Brian are from?
Yeah. And guess what? I named my son Brian. So I have this weird synchronicity connection with Brian Stavely with Lowell, Massachusetts. My best friend, his name is Brian, who I named after my son, which also is the name of Brian Stavely. So we share this weird synchronicity. And
I named my kid after Christian, Christopher. It's the same name.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
So when I experience these weird synchronicities, it tells me, okay, maybe I'm in the right direction. Maybe I'm meeting the right people. You just can't ignore them when they happen, and when they're so personal, right? And it's not like you planned it to happen, like oh yeah, I'm gonna name my kid Brian, but maybe I did, and that's the coincidence, and like maybe that is the synchronicity. Like maybe in a different reality, I planned it all. Because I mean, how else do you explain?
Well,
out of all
you lived it before.
And Massachusetts, that's known as Centerville, now Centralville. So that is a personal Mandela effect as well. That I share with Brian. And on top of that, the most peaceful place that I've been going to has been in Huntington Beach, near where I live. And the initials is HB, Hieu, H for H, and B for Brian. Whether Brian stands for my son or even Brian Stavely, which he always mentions Huntington Beach is one of his favorite places and spots to go. So synchronicity all the time, always happening. And if your eyes are open to it, you'll realize that there's something going on behind the curtain. Pay attention to the man behind the curtain. So maybe there is a man, maybe there is multiple people, multiple eyes watching. I do feel after experiencing these synchronicities, personal ones, that my life is of value. Whatever I do, whatever I say is valuable, is important. It's valuable. It's like your life is valuable now. Know that like there's an entity behind the curtain that cares enough to at least give you signs, right?
I mean, look at YouTube, for example, Hieu.
They wouldn't give you signs. They wouldn't give me signs.
Yeah. It's like, look at YouTube, Hieu. It's like, okay, right now, like I never thought anything I said had any importance, growing up, nothing. And then like we start doing these live streams where we just like basically just like we're like a bunch of friends who just interview each other, right? Like that's basically what we do, right? And then we have all these people watching, right, in the chat right now, and probably more people that they're not even telling us about because they don't give us the right numbers anyway. And like, like somebody might get a message from you tonight, something you said that you might not even think is not even important at all, and they come back like a few days later and they're like, hey man, something you said on that live stream. Or like Sean Osborne, who's in the chat, he'll take like clips of things I say and put them up on his channel. And that's like amazing. It's like a compliment to me. I'm like, wow, like it was that important to you that you wanted to clip it out of just a conversation I was having with my friends and put it up on, for everybody to see. So, it must have reached somebody. So yeah, it's the things we say have importance, and it's being documented on YouTube because these streams, I've seen streams that like live streams that have been up for like 9 years now. And I go back and I watch them, not mine, but other people's. And I'm like, wow, they were doing this like 8 years ago. Like, and you get messages from them, things they said like 8 years ago. So, like, this might reach somebody in like 20 years. You know, it might not even affect nobody tonight, but in 20 years, someone might go back and find it, and we might not even be here anymore. And, you know, and they'll get a message.
I definitely believe that a lot of us, we've pre-planned us meeting here in this reality. Like we planned it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna plan to meet Brian Stavely, or I'm gonna plan to meet Boston Ray, and then it happens. And when you connect, it's like so strong. It's like a strong connection.
Yeah. When I first started meeting people in real life, I would get all excited and try to hug them. Like I get very handsy. I get very handsy in real life, but I kind of wore off. Now I'm just like, whatever. Oh. By the time I met Stavely, I thought like, oh, when I meet Stavely, I'm gonna go nuts, right? I was like, oh, no big deal. Like, oh, whatever. You know what I mean? It was crazy. Like, it was nuts. But yeah, when I woke up, I stayed at Tommy's house with Brian and Christian and Scott. And I woke up and Stavely was like, hey, let's go get some coffee. Like, first thing in the morning, dude. And I was like, all right, let's go. But that was a crazy synchronicity experience, because I always watched Brian, you know, from when I started out. And I never thought that I'd be in the same house, waking up, going to get breakfast. Like,
isn't that weird? It's funny how things turn out, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And who knows? Maybe it was planned. Like, you guys were meant to meet
at Grover's. Yeah. Tommy loves Grover's, dude. There's this place next to Tommy's house called Grover's Chicken, and the guy like makes all the women wear this shirt that says "I got fingered at Grover's" because they sell chicken fingers. Tommy loves it there. It's like his home away from home.
Of course, Tommy would love it there.
Yeah.
Before we close off on tonight's video, let's share with the audience a few tips on raising our vibration. All right, we'll bounce off real quick. Ray, you want to go? What's one thing you do to raise your vibration?
Try to stay mindful. Mindfulness, Hieu. Because it's like, okay, the past already happened. So whatever happened to your past, you can't really change it unless you're the Mandela burglar, you know. And the future is not happening yet. So the only thing that you can change is right here and right now, what's in front of you at the time. So like, it's important to do mindfulness exercises where, like, you know, like if you're peeling an orange or a fruit, or you're washing the dishes, or different activities like that, pay attention to what you're doing with your hands and keep trying to focus. Like if you're peeling an orange or washing the dishes, keep trying to focus on the dishes, right? Focus on the grooves and where the dirt is and cleaning the dishes, and keep your mind on the dishes. If your mind wanders off to something, like while you're washing the dishes, to something in the future or something in the past, you got to come back. Train yourself to come back to what you're doing, and make a note of it, and you know, like, and you know, go back to it later. But just try to stay in the moment and at all times, because the only thing you can change is right here and right now, and I think that's a huge part of it.
That helps you level out.
Yeah. Once you start to be more mindful of what's going on in your surroundings, when something bad is about to happen, you can prevent it. There's tools that you can use and things you could do to stop it. And you could have a better outcome, more positive outcome in life in general, if you're more mindful about things going on around you.
That's a great tip, Ray. My tip is to just love. It's easy. Just love. Love the people around you. You can do self-love. Take care of yourself. If you have a pet, love your pets. That definitely will get you out of a bad mood, a bad negative mood. You want to be positive, right? And it's simple. Just love. Love your dog, love your cats, love your goldfish, love your kids. If no one's there, try to just pray, love God, or do self-love, self-care. That'll get you out of the muck, and it'll definitely raise your vibration. It's very easy, and it's free. But that's how I quickly get out of my moods. And we all know, we all get in our own moods. And it's hard, you know, when we get into our certain moods, and then it's hard to get out. We all know how much we struggle, right, with our certain moods if we get into them. But there are tips to raise your mood. Ray, got any other tips?
Stay flat.
Stay flat. That's Ray's tip. My tip is to be thankful. Just be thankful. Show gratitude, no matter how bad it gets. You know, to get out of that mood, just be like, "What am I thankful for today?" That definitely will help me vibrate on a higher level. And again, that's free. Anyone can do it. Everybody can do it. And it's important, guys. You know, we've talked about the importance of raising our vibration, right? Because we said synchronicities happen all the time. But it depends on our vibration that we emit, which will result in the type of synchronicity that we will experience and how it passes. So it is important, you know. We can change our perspective, the lens that we live by. And I know it's easy to say. Some of us, like Ray, has like multiple kids running around, you know. So it's like Ray has his own challenges and struggles.
Well, it's tough with 3 kids running around. But I also think in life, there's good people and there's bad people, right? And there's 2 types of people, good people and bad people, okay? And the way you can tell the difference is bad people are out for themselves, right? Good people try to help others. So, like, you know, if you see people that are trying to help other people, then you go along with those people. Surround yourself with good people. Stay away from the bad people that are only out for themselves. And I think that's a big part of it too. You know, because you could be hanging out with the wrong crowd and you could follow that crowd right into a jail cell, you know, and then what? You know, you gotta follow the good people.
Wise words from Boston Ray. Please listen to him. We should call him Guru Ray. Preaching us truth. Thank you, Ray, for joining us on this episode.
Thank you for having me on, Hieu. This was an honor. This was an honor to be on TV.
Very enlightening. I think it would have been. It's definitely much more interesting with you on it to get your perspective, Ray.
Anytime, Hieu. Anytime you need me, I'm always here. You know.
Thank you.
For you, Hieu. For you. Only you.
Thanks,
because
buddy.
I love you. Because I love you.
All right, and keep up the great the producing on your channel and on your videos. And
yeah, I'll do my best. I try not to put out negative videos anymore. You know, that's
good,
another thing.
You know? Exactly, dude. Right? Like you've raised your vibration. And
I get a lot of views, and people love that negative energy. It's like, you know, it's crazy. It's like you put out a happy video and nobody watches it, and you put out like a video of you fighting with people in public, and
it just shows. It just shows how much this reality, the people in the reality, what they're attracted to.
Yeah.
You know, but maybe that just gives us more of an onus, more of a responsibility to shine the light, because we can make more of an impact now than ever because it's so dark and negative.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. Believe that someone's watching you, someone cares for you. Look out for the synchronicities because they're happening. And when
be more mindful of them.
Yeah. And when you see them, definitely find hope in your situation, because help is always around the corner, right? It takes that emotional charge for these great synchronicities, these great events to happen in your life.
And it's important that you don't just brush it off when you get that feeling of deja vu or you see something pop up on the screen that just happened. Pay attention to what's going on and be more mindful of what's going on around you at that time and think about it, because it could be a message for you, a personal message from the creator or the creation or the vibrations or whatever. The force. May the force be with you.
Ray, I'm so proud of you, where you're coming, what you're speaking to us. Wow, amazing. Good job, buddy.
Thank you, Hieu. I feel like we did a good job tonight.
All
Hopefully
right.
some people got it. Messages.
Peace.
Peace.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
When Mandela affected, oh no, where did that go? Mandela affected, oh no. I said we going Mandela affected, oh no, where did that go? And we all infected, oh no. I said daydreamer dream.
They said I'm just a daydreamer dreaming with my head always motherfucking in the ceiling. But it seems that the shoes got that Texans. Y'all ain't really fucking see y'all affected. But now you got 6 holes in your fucking face, man. What is you been sleeping? No one is mistaken me for logically frustrated. Cause now I know that there's always been 6 people seated in the JFK assassination. But of course all the vets know let's go where it went. Logically frosty, he shouldn't be like this. Honestly, he should be cold as shit. Why does he need a scarf and what's the point of it? Be careful what you wish for in the Matrix glitch. Where I'm fucking from, it wasn't like this. But at least it's nice to know I'm not alone in ships.
When Mandela affected, oh no, where did that go? Mandela affected, oh no. I said we going Mandela affected, oh no, where did that go? And we all infected, oh no. I said daydream.
You shifty bastard, your wrists are tethered as your pulses under your thumb no longer centered. Your shrinking factor here and after. Not even talking that quick, it's just that time is moving faster. You're lost in the facts since reality's hackfish. Like summoning demons with these dancing tactics. Like Sam Psychiatric, blending semantics. Losing your stars and stripes as the demons demanded. Running in circles, but to whose advantage? It's the signs from the creators while on Satan's sandwich. No longer get scared from Ricky Ricardo's laughter. In fact, I slap a bitch just to hear someone in the chatter. Like someone in a bar quoting it like it matters. Cause this isn't my home, it's a slain disaster. How the fuck could this be? Someone tell me, yo, can't say.
When Mandela affected, oh no, where did that go? Mandela affected, oh no. I said we going Mandela affected, oh no, where did that go? And we all infected, oh no.
I'm the bomb and about to blow up. I'm the light on the run from the devil.
Oh, a real country breakfast, the best you ever tried. Pick up some Flatter Farms breakfast Bud Bites.
Flat Earth Farms Breakfast Bud Bites. Made with the best cuts of bud. Just like at home. Packed full of fresh country flavor. From the skillet to your plate. Tasty breakfast bud bites.
Tasty breakfast bud bites from Flat Earth Farms. Try some today.
Available at all purveyors of fine products near you.